In today's video, we're going to walk you through creating your first FORMSTACK form. The form that we're going to be creating today is a patient contact form that could be used to collect information in a waiting room or filled out before an appointment. To get started, we're going to click the Create button in the top right corner. What you'll notice is that you have the option to create a form, a survey, or a workflow. How are these different? A form will be static, with fields that can be used for collecting information from an individual. A survey will also be static, but it will show one question at a time on the screen. A workflow is going to be more complex and would let you create a sequence of events for your form with multiple users. For example, if you want to collect information that the patient submitted and then send that digital form to a nurse to fill out another portion, and then have a doctor review and complete the form, you would need to use a workflow. If you don't see this as an option on your account and would like to add it, please contact your FORMSTACK account manager. For today, we're going to select our most popular option and review how to build a form. Once you've highlighted the option to create a form, click Next Step. You will then have the ability to name your form and select a folder to save it to. We're going to call this form HIPAA Test 2. You can see the form URL has automatically populated with the name I typed in the box. At the bottom right of this window, we have the option to use a blank form or a template. A template will already have preset fields placed on the form based on a selection of use cases, while the blank form will just be a clean slate for you to work on. For this example, we're going to utilize the blank form option. Now that we're in the builder, you can start diving into some of the options you have for working on your form. On the left-hand side of your screen, you will notice a list of fields. Some basic, like name and email, and some more advanced, like credit card and rating fields. We're going to drag and drop the fields you need for this patient contact form. If you need to gather basic patient background information, you can use the name field, the email address field, and the phone number field. If you want to know more about your patient's current medical issues, you can create a checkbox field to have patients select some of their symptoms. Now that you've created fields on your form, you can highlight each field to make any necessary edits. For instance, let's say you want your name field to actually say patient name. You can do that by adjusting the field label. It's worth mentioning that all changes you make are live and take place on the form itself. Moving forward, you can adjust all the fields as needed, as well as change the field type by selecting the drop-down button beside the field that you've highlighted. This can be useful if you added the wrong field but have the correct labels, or if you're simply testing which field looks or works best for your use case. Let's take a look at our checkbox field and add some of the symptoms that we want to ask our patients about. We're going to write symptoms present today for the field label, and then from there, we're going to make field-specific changes on the checkbox. Let's add headache, fever, cough, then the option for other in case there's any additional symptoms that haven't been listed. If you want to have a field that needs to be completed in order for the form to be submitted, you can make any field mandatory by clicking on the required box at the top of the general settings. Anyone filling out the form will see a prompt for any required fields that haven't been completed. It's important to remember that you can make your fields as simple or as complex as needed. Let's take this a step further and add some logic to our form. Conditional logic on FORMSTACK allows us to show or hide additional fields based on how questions are answered. In our example, one of the participants has a symptom that you'd like to gather more information on. However, you don't want all patients to see this field, only those experiencing the specific symptom. You can use a combination of logic and a long answer field to find out more about our patient's symptoms. First, add a long answer field by dragging and dropping into your section. Second, click on the field and highlight it to edit the label. Last, type in whatever you need in order to gather more details regarding the symptom. In this example, let's say you wanted more information about patients that selected headache as a symptom. Now that we've created our field and made the necessary edits, you can add logic to it by navigating to the top left section. Click on Logic and then the button labeled Add a Rule. With logic, you can show or hide a field based on answers from a previous question. In this example, we only want to show this field if the patient has chosen headache as a symptom. We will go ahead and pick Show for patients who selected headache. And then you will need to specify if you want this condition to be met in all or any circumstances. What this means is if you had a field where you wanted multiple conditions to be met in order for the logic to apply, you could use the option All. On the other hand, you would want to choose the option for Any if there was only one condition that had to be met before the logic would apply. Once you've finished setting this up, a purple icon will appear on the field. Now that you've added all of your fields and you've taken a look at how to use logic, let's explore some of the other options you have from the form builder. From this page, you have the ability to view your live form by selecting View Live Form in the top right corner. This will show you what your form looks like and gives you the ability to test out any logic that you're working on. As a reminder, this is a very basic walkthrough of how to build your form and how to drag and drop and update fields. All fields are editable, and there are several other options within our builder that we didn't explore today. Options like a drop-down list, a number field, a signature field, or file upload field. All of these can be dragged and dropped and edited as needed to fit your needs. When building out your form, it's also important to remember that you have the option to customize the look and feel of the form. You can see some of these options by selecting Style in the top left corner next to Build. When you select Style, you have the option to choose a stock theme to apply, or you can make a copy of this theme and then edit only some parts. Feeling creative or want to customize your form to match your color scheme or logo? You can create a form within your brand guidelines from scratch by clicking on the Create Theme option. Some of the things that can be changed are the form colors, the size of the font, or the color of the form itself. Today we showed you how to quickly create your first form by adding and editing fields, using logic to create customized questions for your users, and where you can go to customize the look and feel of your form. If you have any questions, you always have the option to select this little I on the top right and then click Support Articles. As an example, let's say you need more information on the telephone number field. You can search for an article here to get more information. This is also a helpful spot if you'd like to create a support ticket to get directly in touch with our team. Thank you for watching our video, and we look forward to working with you on your next FormStack project.